welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T29. It's a Tier 7 American heavy tank. It's located on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks, and it's under the command of Koblackovik, and he's in the CBRO2 clan, and we don't know what his equipment is, but he'll probably tell us. Game on! Well, there's a variety of guns you can actually have with this tank. Most have the 105mm, mainly down to the power that it actually presents. 320 Alpha, 198mm pen with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds, it can do 245mm. So it's very powerful. The standard reload is 10.93 seconds. We can see here Koblackovik has got 11.52, so I suspect that his crew isn't 100%. He hasn't marked it. There's nothing on there showing that he's actually got a great crew in it, or that he's got a rammer or anything like that to speed up the reload. This is a heavy tank that they started work on in 1944. They had the prototype by 1947, and 8 prototypes in total. And of course, it's the T-series tanks that were included, the T30, the T20, or T29 here, the T32, and of course the T34. Each with different guns, each capable of a great deal of damage on the enemy. Of course, it's a different design to the M6 that you saw, which of course is a derivative of the T1 Heavy. And yep, the enemy Arty's having a go, and it's a Fifi at the other end, so I can expect another shell to be hit this way momentarily. One shot every 10 seconds. Well, that's a good shot there for 343, which of course is a high roll. Ideally, he needs to move across the gap, otherwise he's going to start receiving rounds on a regular basis. Lost his tracks to the Bishop, and he fixed that by using his repair kit, but unfortunately the Bishop's reloaded and he's firing as well. So now we're receiving damage from 2 different Artys and 2 different tanks ahead of us. Yeah, the only way to get past this is to push forward into a position where the enemy Arty can't actually hit you. Of course, a lot of heavy tank drivers forget about that, and they think, oh well, you know, I'm in a terrible position like that, I should just sit there and take the damage. But no, if you actually move to a position where you can't be fired at, that's when you won't get hit. And of course, the only way to know where you can go where Arty can't hit you is to play Arty. If you play Arty, you know where all the spots are where you have difficulty laying a shell. Well, he took a big hit from the Jackson, and that was actually a 90mm gun. But he finishes off the P43. He's blocking shots from the Jackson now, and in fact, there's 2 Jacksons ahead of him. He's almost holding this flank down single-handed. I'd say there is a VK3002M nearby, but it seems to me that it's Koblackovik who's doing most of the work. And M2Y, yeah, he has to think about that guy. But you notice how these shells are not hitting him anymore because he moved to a position where he couldn't be hit. And he wouldn't have known how to do that unless he knew and played Arty, so he knew where he was safe. Now he's moved out in the open, the Bishop has got a chance, and these guys are spotting for the Arty, but our Arty are also responding. In fact, that shell there was a round on the enemy Arty, on the enemy tanks rather. We've got a Fifi and a Bishop, and we've also got an SU-8. And look at these guys, they're pulling back. And they're pulling back because they're taking lots of damage. Ow, we took 1 round from the the M2Y, but we can push forward and kill that guy. And he gets another high roll for 348. Next shot will be a kill shot, so long as the Arty doesn't fire at us. Okay, get the gun down. That's it. Oh, and he gets the kill. Now, push forward and try and take out the Jackson and then the Bishop afterwards. The turret is very strong. It's great in the hold down position, and it's got 10 degrees gun depression, so it can utilize those positions. There goes the Jackson. Now he just needs to take out the Chi-2, who's a little further back, actually. Okay, there you are. Just push up a bit more. Bit more. No, he's holding off, waiting for the Wizzy to come after them. They're coming from the other side now. They've killed all the other enemy tanks. There's the Bishop. He should have fired there, but there's the other Jackson. Puts one into him, gets another high roll. Pull back to reload. Don't let the guy have a chance. Okay, do it now. And he gets the Jackson. That's his 4th kill. Now, push forward, and the Bishop has gone. There's only one enemy left, the Chi-2 SP, and he can take that guy out with 1 round now. Just 1 round will do it. And he does get it. And that's his 5th kill, and he wins the game. And he's happy with that. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a 2nd class tanker for Koblackovik in the T29. He managed to get a shell-proof for blocking more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 5. 1 short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. Fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks or more. And in fact, he also got a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, at least 11 hits and over 1,000 hit points. And his win 8 from that game, 3,801, which is Super Unicum standard. You notice that he didn't die because, of course, he didn't do anything. He knew where he would be safe from Arty because he plays Arty. And that's the only way you will actually know where you can go to save yourself from Arty if you keep receiving shells. And it's the same for all battlefields, all maps. If you know where you can go, you can save yourself from being completely taken out of the game. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in that game actually went to the KV2, who picked up a high caliber for 2,911 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the Wizzy 131 GFT, who got 2,268 hit points, and he got a Confederate. And the third highest, well, that goes to Koblackovik with 1,963 hit points, and of course he picked up the steel wall. The E25 got a Pescucci's medal, so he must have got both enemy SPGs in the end, or at least 2 of them anyway. When it came to kills, we can see Koblackovik got the most. He got 5 kills in that game. 3 kills went to the Wizzy 131 GFT and also to the Chi-2 SP on the enemy team, and also to the E25 on our own team. And when it came to base XP, we can see we were just below the KV2. Yes, the KV2 managed 1,092. Koblackovik got 1,043. They were the only ones to get over 1,000 base, with the next highest being the Wizzy 131 GF2, who got 882 out of that one. He fired 11 rounds in the game. He got 8 direct hits and 8 penetrating shots. 1,963 hit points, all of it at more than 300, less than 300 meters, close range shooting. 19 hits received from the enemy. 2 of those were penetrations, 12 non-penetrations, and 9 hits by way of splash. Of course, the enemy Arty wasn't really leaving him alone, and how could they? Because it's a huge heavy tank, and of course, it was the main opponent that their guys were holding off on the railway line. 2,620 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, and 5 destroyed. And he got 502 hit points of spotting assist in that game. On a free-to-play account, he actually made a loss of 12,937 credits. And that's mainly down to the fact that he did have to fire a few premium rounds. And of course, he did use consumables. But other than that, he did do quite well from all the damage he did. 3,120 experience points out of that game as well. So he's getting there. And this was, as he said, a flank holding game. It was just him and a VK3002M that were actually holding down that flank. But it was mostly Koblackovik, who was doing most of the work on that one. So let's have a look at the second replay and see how he improved after a short period of time. And when I say short period of time, I mean a very short period of time. The second replay is on the Mannerheim line map, or Arctic region as it's known. And you can see that he's still in his Stars and Stripes T29. I should say that this replay took place directly after the last one. So, yes, that's where it was a bit of a cheat, me saying how he got on after a short period of time. Yeah, he went straight into another battle, and this is how he performed. Now, the T29, they only built 2 of them by the end of World War II, and it didn't get mass produced. In fact, the experience they gained on this tank actually went into them building the M103, which they did put into mass production in the end, and of course that was used by the US Marine Corps. Those ears on the side are coincidence rangefinders. They work on mirrors, working out exactly where the tank needs to, looking at a particular target, and the mirrors will work out the exact range to the target based on the fact that they know how far apart the mirrors are. Okay, so he's pushing forward. Okay, enemy in sight. First shell didn't pen, hit it in the wrong spot, hit the tracks actually. Now he's pulling back to this spot, and this is a good spot to fire from because, yep, should be able to get that. He managed to get it in. He's got enough pen to do it. He is loading the premium rounds though again, so his costs might be a little high, but using this position, yep, gets another one in. Remember 320 Alpha. 2 tanks now. And another pen. So he's consistently getting high rolls. And he's bouncing rounds coming from the enemy. I think the contradictions has suddenly worked out that yes, he's not having much luck getting through the armor. The T29 is widely viewed as probably the best tier 7 heavy tank in the game. That's a low roll for a change. This guy is playing it correct. He's side scraping now, but the guy behind him is not. Waiting for a spot that, oh yes, he can get through the cupola there, but he's got a red mark, so yeah, that wasn't going to go through. If he gets the red dot, it's not going to work. Well, you all know that. There can be spots on the armor where it will pen, but where he's aiming at the moment, even though, yes, there's the red spot again, but that cupola can be penetrated. It's just not getting it on. It's very odd that he's aiming at the cupola and it should pen. Maybe the contradiction is just at the wrong angle, but that will pen. No problem. He gets a high roll there. And he's going for it. Go for the bustle. No, he's going to go for the lower plate. And he gets another one. The guy's a one shot now. There. Nice. Okay, we're down at the moment because we're down on 2 tanks. I think that's up the other end of the map. Oh, you cheeky little... Well, that's stopped him mucking about behind us. And the chopper's gone in front. So now it's 1 up on the enemy. And now we're going to use our gun depression. The ISM doesn't have a lot of gun depression, which is why he should give way. In fact, he turned himself the other way around. He was shooting, reverse shooting at us, at the enemy. Okay, straight in. Gets the ram. So he's at 3 kills now. Oh, that Mutz is taking a lot of damage from the enemy. Oh dear. Well, he was a bit exposed in that spot, which means somebody has got their eyes on that position. And yes, he's done the right thing here to go round. Now he needs to go high, but the conceiver is not giving way. So we've slid down, but we can still make it round. No, I wouldn't go into the water there. Go with the conceivers gone. If you want to see some pictures of the only remaining T29s, I suggest you go to Sophie Line's channel, because she's actually been to Fort Moore and visited them and played with them even. Yeah, she's put her googly eyes on the vehicles to make them look like characters. Quite funny, actually. Maybe those eyes ought to be issued to every tank. It's so funny when she does that. Okay, nice shot through the side of the turret. Oh, this guy is just sitting there taking it. Oh, we got hit on the gun, but we fired one in anyway. Okay, we fixed the gun. Trying to go for the bustle. And the AMX M449 goes down. Okay, they just lost their Arty. And they've just lost their Hellcat as well. The Super Hellcat went down. And now we've got 4 kills. Only 3 remaining. And they're all north of us. Well, that's unfortunate. We just lost the Squall to their SU-101. The CFAC, oh, well, the SU-101's gone, but we lost the CFAC because he was just a little too aggressive, should we say. Okay, so we've got a Leo and a Blesk ahead of us. This is go from cover to cover. There's the cover. He needs to get the Leo. And the Leo's wiped out, and that gives us 5. We need 1 more to get a Top Gun. If we can get this shot, we get a... Ah, we missed out. The Chi-2 gets it. And he platooned right at the end. Well, that was an amazing replay to have directly after the previous one on the Live Oaks map. That was an ace tanker game for Koblackovik of CBRO2 in the T29. He got his first mark of excellence in that game, as well as getting a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 5 again, and that's 1/3 of the enemy and 1 short of getting a Top Gun. He also got a kamikaze because he took out a superior enemy tank, or a higher tier enemy tank, with a ram. And he also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. Fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points with his own vehicle. Brothers in arms because he platooned at the end, and both of them had at least 3 kills. And on top of all that, he picked up the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And his win rate was much higher, 9,690 out of this one. So he was really going for it, and he was racking up the damage. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. The highest damage in this game was 3,843, and that went to Koblackovik. The next highest scorer was, in fact, the Blesk on the enemy team, got 2,643, followed by their SU-101 with 2,566. When it came to kills, he actually had the highest number of those as well. 5 kills went to Koblackovik, 4 kills went to the G2 SP that he platooned with, and also to the Blesk on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he got the top on that as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,642 went to Koblackovik. The next highest scorer was the Conceiver on his team, who got 1,017. And they were the only 2 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the G2 SP getting 938. He fired 17 rounds this time, got 15 direct hits on the enemy and 12 penetrations. 1 splash, 3,843 hit points of damage, of which 161 were at more than 300 meters, so the rest at close range. 106 hits received from the enemy. Yes, that automatic fire does actually rack up a lot of damage, or a lot of hits rather, but not a lot of damage. 71 penetrations, 35 non-penetrations, and 1,032 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 448 hit points of spotting assist. On another free account game, he got a loss of 56,448 credits. Well, yes, he is trying to market, so that's why he's using the premium ammo quite a lot of the time to get as much damage as he can as he's marking it. And he also picked up 11,494 experience points after completing a mission, getting 8,210. Yes, so the thing is, as soon as he's actually marked it, then of course he can stop using the premium ammo and start using the standard ammo, which is probably better in the long run. It is quite a powerful tank, the T29. And say they built a variety of versions with different guns, and of course we know and love them all. The T32 being the tier 8 version, the T31 being the tier 9, the T34 being a premium tier 8. And of course, it all came from originally the failure of the M6. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.